Sunday the 13th! Shock, horror! No wait, news! Rom, great! Greetings Rommies and welcome to romrom.net, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing, and to a regular news roundup. Welcome to the channel, thanks for stopping by. My name is Serta and I will be your host for this video. When time permits, please consider subscribing. If you have any news for us, send us a mail to news@romrom.net. I suppose it was inevitable that after all those big updates in January, we would see a trove of hotfixes, small updates and, well, small news like this today. Our segments today may be short, but we have many of them, because everyone decided to bring out updates and hotfixes big enough to be mentioned here. And check our community presentation. This is a community that is dear to us and that we support in any way we can. Adding to the roster, Fanatec just released the F1 registered Esports V2 wheel. With a price of €270, it's an official Formula 1 trademark wheel, Fanatec having paid them enough money to be allowed to call themselves official provider of the F1 registered esports series. Fitting the price, but we suppose more out of coincidence, the diameter of the rim is 270mm. This rim comes with magnetic shifters made of plastic, customizable RGB LEDs and an exchangeable quick release. The front plate is made of aluminium and the grips covered in Alcantara. Speaking of the grips, they come with vibration motors and you can adjust the strength of their vibration. Not sure what this gimmick is supposed to bring, but we'd like to read your opinion. The LEDs, on the other hand, not only deliver information about the motor revs, but also about tire slip, flag warnings, pit limiter and anything else you may have programmed them to show. And the shifters can be upgraded for a price to the Club Sport Magnetic Paddle Module or the Podium Advanced Paddle Module. In time you will be able to use the QR2 system, which is still coming soon. How long has it been that way already? The rim is compatible to CSL DD, CSL Elite Club Sport and Podium systems, but not to Xbox and not guaranteed to work with PlayStation consoles. Raceroom has been updated, starting with an update to the Fanatec SDK they use and a very interesting addition to the information in shared memory. From now on, Raceroom will deliver information on which kind of ground each individual tire is on, which then can be used, for example, for motion rigs or for tactile transducers of all sorts. Also, and in general, the smoke produced by tires in multiplayer races has been reduced to allow better visibility. Indianapolis 2021 has seen corrections in the behavior of the AI and its racing line. The rest are corrections in cars, starting with a lot of changes in the Aquila, Formula Raceroom US, Group C and GTO cars, especially regarding brakes and tires, and many improvements in the AI, for example in Group 5 cars, Formula Raceroom 3 or Tattoos F4. Imagine what you'll find in the description of this video. Yep, a link to the detailed list. Well, we were asking ourselves if the rFactor 2 content would be paid or not, as there was no word of a DLC in the news from Studio 397. Turns out everything is paid content, which is understandable if we take a look at the situation motorsport games have put themselves in after the NASCAR 21 fiasco. It's surprising the company still exists at all. You can either buy every piece for itself or buy a 2022 Q1 pack for almost €17. Of course, considering that the BMW M4 is already in Assetto Corsa Competizione and iRacing, you may not be interested in it. And Daytona can also be found in different sims, and there's a quite new mod for rFactor 2 giving you Daytona. We are only interested in the Indy cars, which all alone are available at the price of €5. At some point, we suppose, we'll buy them. But not today. Today we're giving you further information about the Q1 update, which not only brings us this new paid content, but also some updates of the sim. The new UI has been tweaked here and there, and Studio 397 fixed some small bugs, while the Norma M30 LMP3 saw some heavy changes, amongst them a change of the motor, now a Nissan VK56 with more power, and made so that the car weight cannot be lower than 950 kg. Also, the competition system has been changed, now introducing seasons similar to what Raceroom has done. The first of those will last about a month and a half, from February 7th to March 20th, and will be concentrated on the Alpine A110 Cup, Open Wheel Sprint and IndyCar Open Challenge. Every week the same cars but different locations, plus one race of the season. This season with a BMW M4 GT3 in the Daytona Road Course every week, allowing you to hot lap to be able to qualify for a race on March 20th. Truth to be told, we're not convinced how much these changes things, although it certainly brings some structure into the competition system format. Let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Studio 397 themselves keep quite vague about the future of the competition system and only promise great things for the future without being more precise. Time will tell. The league of the week is Every Lap Counts. This is a special league and very dear to us at RomRom. Founded in January 2021, it is specially dedicated to physically disabled people who may not feel comfortable in more generic leagues. Their Discord is not only there to organize races, but also as a support group and to answer questions about special needs anyone may have with their gear based on their disability. The members understand ELC as a safe space free of criticism or harassment for everyone to have fun racing. While the league started racing in ACC, they've moved to iRacing for now, as most active members were using that, but they are willing to move back to ACC or use both sims if there are enough people willing to race with Assetto Corsa Competizione. The group is mildly active in the US of A and Europe and races normally around 6 PM GMT about 4 times a month, driving GT3s and open wheelers. The main language is English, and you'll find the link to their Discord in a description or scanning the QR code you see in the video. Just a quick hotfix to clean up some bugs like cars in the pit lane triggering yellow flags, oops, hot lap sessions resetting the setup in some very specific conditions, eliminating the negative toe exploit, and while at it, fine-tuning the tire model and correcting wet track limits. Furthermore, Kuno's developers have fixed the BMW M4 wet setup, corrected track limits on many tracks and corrected issues with the front reloading. No biggie, just a big-ish hotfix. If you like this video and would like to see more, consider becoming a patron, thus letting us spread our wings. Amongst other perks, it will fix your name for posterity like this. A big thank you to our patrons. iRacing published the third patch for the Season 1 this week, correcting some issues in the UI, allowing warm-up time to be set to 0 in hosted racing once again, and some other corrections for team racing. Also, they seem to have issues with their servers as they were seeing timeouts of the easy anti-cheat system and had to change the loading of the sim to allow for the easy anti-cheat to keep up and not throw people out. The spotter's logic for fuel information has been also adapted and got a lot of new messages and many small corrections in the cars, including one where damaged parts would be floating around your Mazda MX-5. That's right, no more ghost parts. Oh, and tons of standard setups have been redone. Moving on to tracks, there's been mostly graphic correction, like a giant arrow in the sky in the Charlotte Motor Speedway that appeared if you looked at the right moment from the right angle, which must have been difficult to correct, but also things like reducing the number of pit stalls in Suzuka to 13. For the detailed list of corrections, and as always, see the link in a description. For more videos sharing the joy of sim racing, check the playlist to the left or the video to the right. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.